5 bedtime tips that actually work. If bedtime has turned into a nightly battle, you're not alone. Whether you're raising young children or grandchildren, bedtime struggles can leave everyone exhausted, frustrated, and dreading the end of the day. The good news is that you do not need a perfect parenting system or a complicated sleep plan to make things better. A few simple, consistent changes can make a big difference. The goal is not to create a flawless bedtime. The goal is to create a calmer one. When children know what to expect, they feel a little more in control and are guided by steady routines. Bedtime becomes much more easier for everyone in the house. Let's walk through the 5 bedtime fixes that actually work. 1. Create a predictable bedtime. A routine children thrive on consistency. One of the biggest reasons bedtime becomes a struggle is that it feels different every night. Sometimes there is extra playtime, sometimes there's a late snack, and sometimes there are multiple reminders, and sometimes the routine changes depending on how tired everyone is. That kind of unpredictability makes it harder for children to settle. A simple bedtime routine gives children a clear path from active time to sleep time. Keep the routine the same every night as much as possible. Bath, pajamas, brush teeth, read a story, hugs, and lights out. You do not need a long routine. In fact, shorter is often better. The important thing is that it happens in the same order at about the same time every night. You can even say the steps out loud so children know what's coming next. For example, first bath, then pajamas, then story time, then bed. That kind of language helps children feel secure because they are not guessing what happens next. If your child resists bedtime, a routine can help reduce arguments. Instead of negotiating every step, you can simply say, "It's time for the next part of our bedtime routine." Over time, children begin to understand that bedtime is not a surprise and not a debate. It is just part of the day. 2. Turn off screens at least 1 hour before bed. Televisions, tablets, phones, and video games can make it much harder for children to wind down. Screens keep the brain alert, and the bright light can interfere with the body's natural sleep process. Even if a child seems calm while watching, their mind may still be active long after the screen is turned off. That is why it helps to create a screen-free window before bed. Try turning off screens at least 1 hour before bedtime. If that feels difficult at first, start with 30 minutes and work your way up. The earlier you can begin the wind down process, the easier bedtime will be. Instead of screens, choose calming activities that help the body and mind slow down. Coloring, puzzles, reading, drawing, quiet conversations, or listening to soft music are all good options. These activities do not re-stimulate children the way that screens often do. If screens are part of your evening routine, don't worry. Don't have to make a dramatic change overnight. Start by setting a clear boundary. and sticking to it consistently. You might say screens are off after dinner, or we put devices away after our bedtime story. The more predictable the rule, the easier for children to accept it. 3, give children some control. Many bedtime battles happen because children feel powerless. All day long, adults make decisions for them, and bedtime can become the one place where they push back. One of the easiest ways to reduce the resistance is to give children small choices within that routine. The key is to offer choices that are limited and manageable. Are you still in charge? You are still in charge, but the child gets to feel some independence. For example, you like the blue pajamas or the green ones? Would you like one story or 2 short stories? Do you want to brush your teeth before or after pajamas? Would you like to hop to the bathroom or walk like a turtle? These little choices may seem small, but they can make a big difference. When children feel heard and included, they are less likely to fight every step of the process. You can also give a choice that helps them feel prepared for bed. Let them choose a stuffed animal to sleep with, pick a bedtime book, or decide which blanket they want tonight. These decisions give children a sense of ownership without giving up the structure they need. Just remember to keep the choices simple. Too many options can become overwhelming and lead to actually more delays. The goal is not to let the children run bedtime, and the routine of what's happening. It's to help them feel a little bit more in control while you keep the routine moving forward. Number 4, keep the bedroom calm and comfortable. The sleep environment matters more than many people realize. A bedroom that is too bright, too noisy, or too warm, too stimulating can make it harder for children to settle down and stay asleep. So start by making the room as calm and comfortable as possible. A cool, dark, quiet room helps children sleep better. If your child is afraid of the dark, a small nightlight can help. If outside noise is a problem, soft music or white noise may make the room feel more peaceful. Some children also sleep better with a favorite blanket. I know my granddaughter does, or a stuffed animal nearby. It can also help keep the bedroom for sleep, not for play. And if possible, avoid turning the bed into a place where children jump, wrestle, or stay active right before sleep. The more the room feels like a restful, peaceful place, it's the easiest for the brain to connect to that room with bedtime. And to look at that room from your child's perspective. Is there too much clutter? Is the light from the hallway or window making the room too bright? Is the temperature comfortable? Small adjustments can make bedtime feel much smoother. If your child has trouble settling because of anxiety or fear, a comforting bedtime phrase can help. You might say something like, "You are safe and I am nearby," or "It's time for your body to rest now." Reassurance paired with a calm environment can help children relax more quickly. Number 5, stay calm and consistent. This may be the most important fix of all. Even the best bedtime routine will work if the response changes every night. Won't work, actually. Children learn quickly whether bedtime rules are firm or flexible. If they get out of bed and sometimes receive extra attention, extra stories, or extra negotiation, they will keep testing the limits. When your child gets out of bed calmly, return them without arguing or negotiating. Keep your voice quiet and your words brief. You do not need a long explanation. A simple, steady response works best. It's bedtime, back to bed. Then guide them back with as little drama as possible. The first few nights may take patience. In fact, when you first set a new boundary, children may resist more before they resist less. So that does not mean that the routine is not working. It often means they are adjusting to the new expectations then. Consistency teaches children that bedtime is not up for debate. It also helps them feel safe because they know the adults are in charge and the routine will stay the same. They often sleep better when they do not have to wonder what will happen next. If you're tired, frustrated, or tempered, remember that calm consistency is what creates change. You do not need to be harsh. You just need to be steady. The more predictable your response, the faster children learn what bedtime actually looks like. And remember, bedtime habits do not change overnight. If bedtime has been a struggle for a long time, it may take several nights or even a couple of weeks before you actually see a real shift. And that's normal. What matters most is not perfection, but progress. Start with 1 or 2 changes if that feels easier. Maybe tonight you turn off screens earlier and begin simple routine. Maybe tomorrow you add a choice of make the bedroom a little calmer. Small steps can lead to big improvements, especially when you stay patient and consistent. Celebrate the little wins. A shorter bedtime battle, fewer reminders, or one peaceful night is worth noticing. Every calm bedtime is a step forward to healthier sleep and happier mornings for the whole family. If you found these tips helpful, subscribe to Second Time Around Parenting, especially for practical advice and encouragement for parents and grandparents raising children. You're not alone on this journey. See you in the next video.